It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
That was loud.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well, look what the dog dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Oh, my sensors on the forest. That was about right. Oh, which one's running so fucking loud? Welcome to Divinity Original Sin 2. Click anywhere on the ground or hold left mouse button continuously to begin exploring. You know, I had no idea you could actually do that. What are the controller controls like? I've actually never. Just switch automatically? No. Oh, I switched to a controller. Can I? Is that my tutorials? I believe I am. Drop that to 144. Off. Cap enable. Sadly doesn't have DLSS. Motion blur. Back to the start screen. I want to try using the controller. I've never used a controller on this. Here? Bye. Oh, right there. I have the controller just because I never have played it with a controller. Like 5 times now. I really gotta watch that being redundant. Eating myself 50 times. That's kind of nice. Like the... Ooh, I don't like that. I really don't like that. Alright, we're going back to the main menu. Don't like that. Cradle. Coffee's still warm, should be. Well, not warm, but good enough. Black rifle, so good at any temperature. Okay, how do I search? Wait, I gotta set up like that. I gotta redo my rolls how I like. Figure out as I go. I just keep getting messages. Go to the gold. Had to go all the way up there to turn off the candle. Search the bloody desk. And that leaves. Proper disguise would sure be nice. I'm an elf. Can I eat that? Am I an elf, but I'm a dead? Oh, really? How did that disease me? An undead elf.
When animals die, freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
Fucker.
Banded like a chicken's leg, but not much meat on your bones.
E. While I poke the sheep's ample belly with my toe, remark that she's got more meat on her than I do.
That may be so, but look at the flies. Ban wisdom. Flies know when a creature will die. And it's around your head they're buzzing, not mine.
With 2 shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her hay-filled manger.
Sheep's a bitch.
Did you expect a needle?
Kind of.
Did you expect a needle?
Orders from the guard steward. Important. Come to my attention again that several of you are bypassing the cargo hold security measures by sliding boxes onto the pressure plates. This will not do. The purpose of these measures is to require the presence of at least 3 magisters at a change of shift. Any deviation will result in at least 1 magister getting thrown overboard. Make sure it isn't you. Magister C1. Need any of that food, so. I could just pick a lock. I am dead. Over there.
You there. Come here. Hey. Hey. Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in?
So I got this right. Why? I didn't wash my straw good enough. I am carefully. Why is he in a cage in the first place?
Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here.
I'll let him out.
A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair...
There's a guard. Let me take care of the guard first.
The Magister Guard snorts and sniffles as he sleeps. You're almost impressed that one man can make such a phlegmy racket.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Oh, wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy elf? Choose
No, I'm just...
your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face.
I'm just snooping around. What are you gonna do about it?
The Magister considers you, shrugs, and curls his hands into fists.
What's going on my phone? What the fuck are you doing?
You're honest, I'll give you that. Doesn't mean I'll be letting you go scot-free, though.
Motherfucker gave me a roundhouse. I probably don't want to do shocking touch. Merlin, what have I said about leaving that alone? Come on. Oh, there we go. Fucking insecurity takes
So
him
much
down.
for a peaceful stroll.
Merlin. Wait. Pain in the ass today, you know. How far are you pain in the ass today? Gonna lay down there by my feet?
Boring.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Ah, freedom. Tastes better than wine. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give
Merlin?
my word I'd set you free, lad. Say your prayers while you've breath to speak them. The halls await.
Hey. Merlin, no. Yep. No. Really? Oh, you fucker. Okay, this isn't good. Am I gonna die? I feel like roundhousing me. Merlin. I have a feeling when I podcast later tonight that I'm gonna have to edit a lot of you giving the cat out. Why'd I just lay on that?
Empty.
Can't use that, but when I get companions, I can. Hey! I know what you're fucking after, but no. Get out of here. Go! That's poison. What am I... Gotta find the key. That puts me in combat. Oh, what the hell tab does? I'm doing backflips. Do I gotta fucking... Well, I didn't want to pick up the barrel. Well, no, I think, well, that'd be a good thing to carry with me as an undead. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this anymore. There. Well, it fails. Just kick the damn thing.
And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
No lesion, no draw.
We have too long presumed Source as a virtuous part of civil society. Yet we need look no further into the past than the Source King's reign to understand the havoc that such magics may wreak. One day another order must follow in the Source Hunter's footsteps. Sorcerers must be muted. New model of Source Colors provided by Verdenma is proving most effective. Stop fucking dragging shit! God! The cooking pot! Cooking.
Empty.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Last thing I remember is holding my 15th pint. Is this the Ram's Head too?
Don't you dare! If you violate the virtue of my carpet, I'll do a good thing worse and put a collar around your neck.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
That, Magister below decks? Yeah, he suffered a fatal encounter.
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy.
Why have you collared me?
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm on to you, bitch.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you.
No,
Promise.
no, I don't trust you.
My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Bitch.
Good gods. This...
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
What happened?
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Always does? Does this sort of thing happen often?
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Yeah, I'll be right up.
It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural. No marks, no indications of a struggle. No marks, no indications of a struggle. No marks, no indications of a struggle.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, man. I hate when I get called away and I'm trying to do this.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away. Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
You are not this man's protector. You're his captor.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
That's a trick I haven't quite mastered yet.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
My price is considerably higher than that.
Not in here, it isn't. You? No lesions, no trauma.
Why won't you sing?
Magic.
That's enough now.
That.
Ah, there you are. Husband, would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
I'd take her on with a grin. Your children must be mistaken.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone
Horrible
else.
name.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you.
I really like the voice
dark-eyed
actress
and
for
dirty-haired,
Losa.
and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Not the same voice actress for God, what's her name on Vision? What does it sound like her? It drive me nuts and I gotta check. The Divinity. Divinity. And 2. Well. Hello, Rosa. Yeah, she's in Vikings. Divinity, Vikings. Thrones, Telltale. Oh, she sounds a lot like... Okay, back at it. Enough of that detour. That's true enough. Losa, I presume.
You presume right.
Yeah. Alright, now I'm getting annoyed with that. All fucking day to do this. See. You ought to have a look around with me. We can watch each other's backs.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Do you know anything about the murder that happened on board?
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Smile dreamily and I ask him, what's in a name anyway?
I don't like comedy. Not so fast. Name?
Who wants to know?
The Divine Order wants to know.
Yo, mama.
Well, you aren't here on my list.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. Did you see the body? They ought to let you taste a bit. Maybe you'd find out who done it.
Fuck you.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Boy? Yeah, think twice before addressing me like a child.
He turns his head toward you, looking you up and down, and smiles before turning his attention to the ship once more.
You look like a boy to me. Listen, if you're interested. Or get gone if you aren't.
What am I meant to be hearing?
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capsize the ship.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't angry.
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
What's got you so excited? That was nothing more than a rat.
No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. You sure about that? No. What's your name?
Why are you so excited about reaching Fort Joy? I haven't heard anything good about that place.
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all
I like that.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything. That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
If you're hatching an escape plan, I want in.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
Clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up,
Oh,
shall
wow.
we? See if you
Look at that.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
The nerve! Slapping away his hand.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I mean, I can, but my sense of taste isn't quite what it used to be.
And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
I'll stick a thumb through one of the holes in my garb. These provide cool in summer.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
When was the last time I bathed? What month is this?
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun.
It might be an improvement. You know, I've already rotted away in the sun.
That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
You were looking for me to be your what now?
My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of my disheartening refusal to sink in. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you?
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old wig.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Might I join you?
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Can you read the future and caravan trails as well?
She eyes you suspiciously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. Just like you. And I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Yeah, why not?
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back.
Up between those two.
You were thinking of flesh. Or, to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh. Those that have eluded you for so long.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep, so to speak. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Whose fate are those dice of hers deciding?
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a camp.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Why do the Magisters suspect you of murder?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
What did you do to find yourself at the mercy of your subordinate?
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested parties.
Oh, curious about that murder. Did you do it?
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
You know what I think about where we're headed? This Fort Joy?
The joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
I think I'd like to meet this Alexander. Show him exactly what I think of this divine order.
Easy now. I might think the same. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, elf. What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
It's Victar. That's right, V-I-K-T-A-R. Victar.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger...
Back to that body. I forgot. I think I can eat part of it. Oh, I might. Eat some. Oh, I stealth again?
As the dead man's flesh slides down your throat, you feel his consciousness enter yours. His memories are yours to experience. You are Finn. Your heart is heavy. You know too much. It's all too much. You met him. A bright light blinds you, then fades. You feel a tremendous power in your hands, but they are shaking so hard you can barely use them. Suddenly you're on this very ship, crouched in a corner, hugging your knees. A figure approaches, an older woman. Her eyes are kind. She comes closer. She says she wants to talk. She reaches a hand toward you. You grasp it. The memories end. You are no longer Finn. You return to yourself with a jolt.
Good, and now no adrenaline. Good one. Ah, I know I'm scoundrel, right.
So, anything interesting for me?
I've learned something from the dead man's memories. He met an older woman on the ship.
From his memories? You ate something off his corpse? Please, don't tamper with the evidence. Especially not like that. As for the older woman, I'll have to check out the ship's log. If she's aboard, I haven't met her myself. Must avoid us Reds when she sees us. If you meet anyone like that aboard, maybe you could talk to her. Casually. See when she last spoke to Finn.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right?
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail.
Narrator could at least pronounced it right.
He reaches out and examines your bandages, rubbing them between his fingers.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
I reach over and ruffle his hair with a grin.
What purpose did that serve? Was that a greeting? Was it... Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How... difficult. You have my sincere apologies. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe...
What book is that? It seems to have really drawn you in.
I do not believe I've been drawn anywhere. It is a quaint little read, but it has its faults. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
I have some personal experience of history. Seen a lot in the last couple of centuries.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about... This text tells me that they created all creatures.
Reading a
Nothing
fucking
of what
Bible.
came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
The gods are forces of nature. They don't have a history.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
I insist. Why are you so curious about the gods?
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Would you be fine? Collared like a dog and stuck in a ship's hold with a corpse and a murderer on the loose?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir. But we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Keep those bolts trained on us.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
What do you mean by there are others whose lives must end?
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
Uh-oh.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
For the coins. And take that. Ooh, there we go. Get some weaponry equipped. I believe I can do a wield. No, in fact, I don't have any fucking weapon skills. There's nothing even in there anyway.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them.
Wake up!
She doesn't stir.
Oh! What? What happened?
Hey, Dick, so I'm gonna slap him.
You dare strike a royal? Ooh.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into... The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead.
I'll listen for a heartbeat.
You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. He's alive, but only just.
Right, they, I thought I had that.
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods! By the fine grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of
you. I raise my hands in the air and chant some gibberish. They better not mess with me.
He leaps to attention, then whispers loudly to the...
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take out your blade!
Rix raises his sword, which shakes to the rhythm of his trembling hand.
I think I get 2 turns. I'm not gonna live, am I?
Bishop Alexander, if Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
Healing done. I think at 10 we'll switch over to Fall Guys. In 40 minutes.
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet black nose and continues scratching.
What's the matter, boy?
The dog notices you for the first time and snarls. The hairs on its back prickling as it lowers itself into a lunge.
You sorcerer!
It sneezes suddenly and paws at its nose once more.
Can't smell. Can't breathe. Too much sauce. Too much. Too much. Please, make it stop.
I'm not the one who did this. I'd stop it if I could.
Sorcerer!
The dog whines and continues pawing at its nose.
Not before this thing snaps into splinters!
Not that I'm going to use the bow, but I'll take it anyway. I just said Carl for a second.
Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
Death Fog barrels have been locked down in storage. Stay out, you and Rick's both. If someone starts fooling around down there, it'll be lights out.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
Pedia.
No. What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid. No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
Something familiar about the way you hold that book.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
You're the elf. You were the elf that was reading the book.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
That seems sensible.
Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death, so...
The skeleton shrugs. The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. A warning of death fog within.
Fine.
You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge. The door groans.
Something's breaking through! What in the hell is an Death fog. Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
Yeah, you're dead. Thankfully, so am I. Of course.
That means there's still a chance.
Go on, kid. Climb up there and dig in the rope. Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
Said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
You fucking yellow-bellied coward. I'll return to the lower deck to check for survivors myself.
Fuck you, fuck. There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you...
The Magister lies on the...
yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Void Woken!
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Let the games begin. Hurts, doesn't it?
Might take Sabille, Red Prince, and Ifon, I think.
They who are about to triumph.
I thought Voidwoken was
I like
so
Lowe's
scary.
here.
I've faced worse.
Thank you. For the fact that caught fire.
Let's head above decks for some air.
Let's not tarry. This old tub is about to burst.
Wait! We need to wait! There's no time.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead.
Oh, wow,
safe
big
way
difference.
Into eternity. High Judge Orivan.